Hi, everybody. I'm Ryan DeYoung with DeYoung Properties. I'm here with my brother, Brandon DeYoung, and we are live, ready to talk about today's awesome topic, why now could be a good time to purchase a brand new home. Today's episode is going to be a lot of fun. And not only are we talking about that, but we have a special guest at the end of our episode, Tim Sullivan, Senior Managing Principal with Myers Research, Zonda Metro Study. It is a special treat to be able to talk to Tim today about this topic, but more on Tim a little bit later. Let's dive right into our topic about why now could be a great time to purchase a new home. So to kick us off on this topic, I'll pass things over to Brandon to get things started.
That's right. Sounds great. So excited. So we've got our agenda right here on the screen if you're able to watch this visually. So today's agenda, we're first going to talk about historically low interest rates. It's pretty mind-boggling how low they are and how low they've been. And how low it seems like they will continue to be as far as we can tell. For example, we recently saw a refi recently at as low as 2.91%. So pretty crazy low rates right now. We tend to think that real estate could be a safer investment than other investing opportunities. It's a hard asset. It's something you can touch and feel. It also just gives you that better sense of comfort knowing that it's yours. And so we'll dive into that a little bit deeper too. We'll talk about the used home inventory situation. There's just so little used inventory out there right now that it makes it so challenging to find a home. If you've been looking for a home, specifically a used home, you probably can tell that it's hard to find one. And when you do find one, they sell so quickly. So new homes give you that opportunity to buy the home that you want and to personalize it. In fact, we'll get to that in a few minutes. So then the next topic would be buying new homes. And so how new homes provide a incomparable experience when you compare to used homes. Just there's so many benefits to buying a new home compared to used, and we'd love to dive into that deeper as well. And in fact, some of the benefits to it is that they offer freedom and privacy that you may not have maybe when you compare against rentals or other types of attached products. So single family homes, just a great all around investment. So let's go ahead and jump right into the very first topic there, which is interest rates. This is definitely the topic that's on most people's minds these days because obviously that has a huge impact on everyone's life. The lower the interest rate, obviously, that means the lower the mortgage payment that you'll have. Interest rates tend to be the biggest factor in what calculates your monthly mortgage payments. The nice thing about them too, depending upon which type of mortgage you get, type of financing loan product you get, if you get a fixed interest rate product, fixed monthly payment, then that means for as long as the term of your loan will be, that monthly payment will be fixed. And that just gives you great stability and peace of mind. And so, for example, a 30-year fixed payment, when we look at the rates and we talk about how low they are, in our company's lifetime, we've seen rates as high as 18%, which is just mind-blowing. If you've only been in the real estate market for the last decade or so, when you put it in context, it's so low what the rates are these days. On average, it looks like, if you kind of see the chart here and you're able to watch our episode visually, on average, it looks like rates tend to be around 6 to 8% over the last many decades. But again, right now, it's even lower than that at 3% and lower potentially. So really great time to get a home loan. And in many instances, ownership can actually be cheaper than renting. Depending upon where in the country you're at, rental rates compared to say, for example, a 30-year fixed monthly payment could actually be higher. And so actually owning and financing a home could actually be less expensive. So definitely something to consider when looking at a new home. Or buying a home, whether it's used or new, compared to rentals. The other potential benefits that you gain when you're owning an asset, a real estate asset, a home, for example, would be equity and tax deductions. So, for example, if you have a home loan on the home, you may be able to deduct the interest on the home loan from your taxes. Definitely consult a certified financial advisor to verify all that, depending upon your family's financial situation. Obviously, if you're able to take advantage of that, it's a super awesome benefit to owning. DeYoung Mortgage. DeYoung Mortgage is actually an affiliate to our home building company, DeYoung Properties. So we actually have two different companies, and I'm actually the president of DeYoung Mortgage. So with DeYoung Mortgage being an affiliate of DeYoung Properties, we have an awesome streamlined process that's a one-stop shop essentially for our home buyers that come through DeYoung Properties. to not only find the right home, design it, build it, but also be able to finance it. Because these companies are affiliated with each other, you'll see actually on there on the screen, if you're watching this episode visually, you'll see Doug and Liz. Those are our two main team members on the DeYoung Mortgage side, and they'll walk you through the whole process. They have great communication with our other team members on the DeYoung Properties side. And so you can rest assured that the communication will be smooth between the financing of your home and the construction and design of your home. And you don't necessarily always get that. If you're financing with a third party, there can be hiccups here and there. And so it's great to be able to have DeYoung Mortgage be the financing entity for your home to just ensure a very smooth process. It's also nice that if you go through DeYoung Mortgage, we're able to tailor the financing for your home to you and your family to fit your needs as best as possible. There's all kinds of loan products out there, and we cull them to be the best, most applicable to our home buyers. And so we'll walk you through the whole process and make it as easy and simple as possible. At the end of the day, they're a friendly group of people to work with, and just make the process fun and exciting as well. Especially if it's your first time buying, our team members will walk you through it and just make it a fun experience overall.
I will say one thing about our DeYoung Mortgage team is they make it, understandable, to make it easy. And partnering with DeYoung Properties, it really makes that entire process just a seamless process from beginning to end. It's really a great resource for our customers that they've been able to realize.
That's the goal. So it works great. Our customers love it. And so we definitely encourage you to use DeYoung Mortgage when you come through DeYoung Properties. So now let's talk about buying real estate as an investment in general and how that kind of compares to other opportunities to invest. It really could be a safer investment, we believe, than other investing opportunities. It's best to not put all your eggs in one basket, as they say, diversify, right? So maybe real estate isn't your only means of investing, but having real estate as one source of investment is a great idea. It's a hard asset. It's something you can touch and feel. You own it. Whereas other investing opportunities can be a bit detached, I guess you could say. Say a stock. If you buy a stock, it's not something you can touch and feel and know that this is yours. The markets can be very volatile, whereas real estate over the long term tend to be a very solid investment. On average, that tends to be the case. Obviously, there's never any guarantees in any investment, but with real estate over the long term, it always tends to be a very good, solid investment that rises over time. And also helps hedge against inflation too. When you buy and you finance real estate, let's say a home, if you do a fixed, a fixed loan, a fixed monthly payment, say 30-year fixed interest rate, that allows you to lock in your monthly expense for 30 years. And when you compare that to all the other expenses that are in that you have to deal with, that rise with the cost of inflation, that is a great way to hedge against it because your housing expense is locked in for a long period of time. And I also mentioned before, this is still also something to be taking into account, and why it's a good safe bet is the tax advantages. Again, definitely consult with a financial advisor, but again, you could definitely realize some great tax advantages, write-offs, tax deductions if you're buying real estate and if you are financing it. Now let's go ahead and jump over to why buying a new home versus a used home might actually be a better way to go as well. And I'm going to go ahead and throw it to Ryan to dive into that topic.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Brandon. A quote that I've heard, I'm not sure who the source is, but home has never been more important than it is right now. And it couldn't be more true. Buying a new home is an awesome experience that has so many great outcomes. You get to not only personalize the home to the way you want to see it, but you're going to have some things that come with the home that really make that home ownership experience wonderful. One of those is our 3-year fit and finish warranty that we're offering right now in some of our communities. That is just really there to help protect you as a homeowner. If you've purchased the home, if you can't see the video screen, definitely take a look at the video. But if you purchase the home in the bottom right, you may have a few hidden surprises along the way. And so that warranty with a new home really gives you that peace of mind and security. And on top of that, new homes are built with modern building standards. They're safer, they're cleaner, they're healthy for their planet. We'll get into some of that a little bit later, but a ton of great aspects about purchasing a new home. And on top of all of that, One of the most fun parts about building a new home is the fact that you do get to personalize the home, your experience, everything about it. It's a fun process. You get to customize the look of your home to a style that fits you and your family, the way you love to live in your home, your lifestyle. All of our homes are going to always be on the cutting edge of the current design trends and architecture trends. And not only the exterior of the home, but you get to personalize the floor plan layout, the finishes on the inside, and everything that goes into the home to really reflect your style, your passion, the way you want to see your home, how you envision it. One of the fun aspects about purchasing a new home along the journey is getting to select all those in our exclusive DeYoung Design Studio. It is a unique experience that is truly a remarkable point in that home purchasing process. You have a picture of our design studio on the screen there. But when you're going through the design studio, you get to work with our design consultant with many years of experience to help really cultivate the look that you're going for, and putting things together in a way that is smart for your budget, but achieves that look at the same time. It's a one-stop shop. Everything you're looking for, whether it's cabinet finishes, plumbing, electrical, you name it. All those are going to be in one location. And you get that one-on-one time with a DeYoung design consultant to really personalize that experience with the way that you want your home to look like. There's something to be really said about, actually selecting colors and finishes on a computer screen and really visualizing that, but then getting to stop by in person and touch and feel those finishes. It's a great experience to really visualize how that style, the colors that you're imagining, how it's all going to come together. So on top of the design studio and getting to personalize your home, there are some unique experiences that our DeYoung team has spent a lot of time thinking about. And this is also one of those things that it's so important nowadays, is that indoor-outdoor living experience. So a lot of our communities are designed with that indoor-outdoor experience just baked into the community and the home itself. So some of our communities are going to have paseo or parks, really encouraging that indoor-outdoor feel. If you have kids, you can get outside and play outdoors, or if it's just something that you'd like to just go on walks or go for runs, those paseos and connected walkways and parks really make that a joyous experience in purchasing in some of our neighborhoods. On top of that, a lot of our floor plans will offer courtyards and really trying to bring the outside in. So for example, the home on the top right there, that's our Residence 210. Not only does it have a backyard covered patio, but the inside of the home actually has an interior courtyard. The home is literally built around the outside with some breathtaking views to that location with glass and windows and doors. And then a number of our floor plans actually have courtyards on the sides of their homes, really trying to let you utilize every ounce of your home site and bring a lot of that natural light inside the home. Not only that, some of our floor plans even offer balconies. You can see there in the bottom left in the picture. It depends on the floor plan you select, that we do have some balcony selections that you can choose from. What a great experience. In some of our communities, we have just amazing views of the Sierra Nevada mountains, a great way to really soak in that amazing location that we have that is unique to our Central Valley. Not only that, but we do offer some outdoor gas fireplaces on the inside of the home, and then fire bowls on the outside. So you get to really design that yard in a way that's going to be perfect for the way you imagine using it. And then along with that great indoor-outdoor feel and thinking of how you want to use that yard, we do design a lot of our communities so that you can fit a pool. Not every community will have the home sites large enough for the pool. And in those instances, oftentimes we do have a community pool that you may utilize. But a number of our communities and home sites do offer home sites that have a ton of space, that not only you have space for family gatherings, kids playing sports in the background, but then also that space to actually fit a pool. With that space in the yards, as we're talking about that, comes to the design of the community. And we take a lot of time thinking about making sure that we offer a lot of unique opportunities to pick and choose the home site that's perfect for you and your family. So giving you, if room to breathe is important, you'll have that opportunity to have space between homes. that isn't always offered. And the other thing is, when you do that, you get to personalize which home site is perfect for you, whether it's a size or shape or location within a community. You get to pick the perfect one for the way you imagine that you want to use your home site. So on top of being able to personalize your living experience, there's a great asset that you get to utilize by purchasing a new DeYoung home. And I'd love to pass it back to Brandon to talk a little bit more about that.
So what you're referring to would be actually called our DeYoung Smart Home. So the DeYoung Smart Home essentially encompasses a number of types of features that we include in our homes. The features would be called either Energy Smart, Control Smart, Health Smart, or Earth Smart. And these basically just amp the home up to the next level as far as being top of the line in terms of energy efficiency and comfort, in terms of technology and the convenience and security that comes along with that, indoor health, and of course, environmental stewardship. So let's start with Energy Smart features. Essentially, these are features that are designed to reduce your home's annual consumption as low as possible to reduce your annual operating costs for the home, your energy bills. The lower the energy bills, obviously, the better. The idea with this is here in our area, you tend to have to trade off between energy bills and comfort, or comfort and energy bills. And everyone in this area knows that either you have to have a higher bill so that you have better comfort, or a lower bill and you're going to suffer on the comfort side. The nice thing is with the Energy Smart features is you get to have the best of both worlds, actually. So super energy efficient, but also great comfort. And then that kind of ties into the Health Smart features, actually. Really, the Health Smart features are better indoor air quality. I mean, that's really the key focus when we talk about Health Smart features. It's possible the air quality at times throughout the year, depending upon where you live, could be not the greatest to be out in. And so it's nice to be able to have a home to be your safe haven. You can feel comfortable, with your kids breathing the air on the inside of the home. That would be the worst case scenario to be in your home and not feel comfortable about that. But the great thing about our homes is we have a balanced, filtered, fresh air, whole home ventilation system. And so we're filtering air, and we're always bringing in fresh air and making sure we filter it. And if it needs to be conditioned, whether heated or cooled, it's doing that as well. But it's also doing that in a very energy efficient way. There are many ways to be able to do that, and a lot of them are just very inefficient from an energy bill standpoint. But we've figured out a way to do it where, again, the best of both worlds. You have better indoor air quality, better indoor health, but also in a very smart and energy efficient way. And while we're talking about energy efficiency, if you're watching this visually, you'll see a graph on the screen and a chart. Essentially, this is called the Energy Design Rating, the EDR scale. And the lower on this, the more energy efficient the home is, which means the lower the energy bills you'll have. Typical existing homes are about 100 on this scale. Our homes get as low as 23 on this scale. It's pretty mind-blowing how energy efficient we can be these days, but that comes included with the DeYoung Smart Home. And then Control Smart features are awesome because they include, we include with Control Smart features, high tech features such as video doorbells, smart door locks, things that can automate on their own for you. You set it to lock the door automatically when you leave the home, or send you an alert when someone's at your front door. Some really smart technology that makes your life more convenient and more secure. And that just, again, comes included with the DeYoung Smart Home. And then, of course, Earth Smart. At the end of the day, we want all of this, but also we want it to be more environmentally friendly. And so you can rest assured that with our third-party inspectors, making sure that we're doing what we're saying we're going to do, that the homes that we build are energy efficient, but also environmentally friendly. For example, one additional aspect in addition to energy efficiency is the construction waste recycling. When you're building a home, there tends to be some waste here and there, scrap wood, scrap concrete, for example. Well, we actually recycle up to 90% of that construction waste. Instead of going into a landfill, that actually gets recycled. So really, really cool stuff that we do here. And we actually have our homes, like I said, third-party inspected and certified for that. So that encompasses the DeYoung Smart Home in a nutshell: energy efficient, comfortable, low energy bills, high tech for better security and convenience, and obviously more healthy for our home buyers and healthy for the environment as well. So how can you find our homes? How can you come see them? There's so many different ways to do it. Obviously, the most fun way would be to come see them in person. We have at any given point in time. Many different model home centers you can come check out. Right now we have our Leonard Welcome Center and a Shaw Welcome Center. Both of them have at least 2 to 3 or more model homes that you can walk through, varying sizes and styles. And so we always encourage people to come through our models. The best way to tour them first, though, would be actually to go to our website. So not only when you go to our website, deyoungproperties.com, are you going to be able to find different ways to get to know our homes and our company, but you'll be able to schedule in-person meetings with our team members so that when you show up at the model, someone's there to be able to help you find the right home for you. So like I said, in-person touring. You can also tour virtually. So again, on our website, we have so many great ways to tour the homes. Even virtually, like I said, you can go through the home and actually just get to experience what it's like to be inside the home right from your computer screen sitting on your couch. You can even video chat with our team members. If you're watching, you've got pictures of all of our sales team members up there on the screen. They're an awesome group of people that truly care about finding the right home for each and every one of the families that come through our doors. And I can't say enough about how great they are and excited they are to help you come through and check out our homes. So you can video chat with them, you can text or call with them, and you can even do self-guided tours with our homes. So if we have some inventory move-in ready homes within any given community, some of them you can actually just walk up to them and be able to access them through some really awesome technology without even one of our team members having to be there. And so you just get to tour it and get to get the feel of it just on your own with you and your family. So all kinds of ways to be able to tour our homes, and definitely go to deyoungproperties.com to find the right pathway for you and your family. So that, I think, covers the first segment of our episode today. The next segment is just, I'm so excited about. We love talking to Tim. He's a great special guest. So I'm going to throw it over to Ryan to introduce Tim a little bit more, and then we'll jump into the Q&A with him.
Well, it's going to be a unique opportunity to get to talk to Tim. And we just talked about, how technology in purchasing a DeYoung home, we make it easy. We make it fun to purchase. There's so many technological advances that are built into all of our homes. We talked about investments and why purchasing a new home may be a really smart investment. But on top of that, our team makes it easy, seamless. And the most important aspect of it is you get to personalize the home and the experience to help you realize the dream that you're looking for. And with all that in mind, I cannot wait to hear what Tim has to say about all these different topics. Tim has a wealth of real estate knowledge. He has over 33 plus years of real estate experience. Tim is an expert in interpreting diverse statistics and trends and translating them into amazing takeaways. We're going to learn a lot from Tim. Let's jump over to that segment. Okay, well, without further ado, I am so excited to welcome Tim Sullivan, the man, the myth, the legend. It is an absolute pleasure to have you on this episode with us. Before we dive into the topic, we'd love to get your background so the folks who are listening can get a feel for who you are and what your experience is in our industry.
Well, I'll give you two sides of that, the personal side and the professional side. Personal side, I'm the father of 3 kids, all of them grown now. So the needs I have in housing are a little bit different than they were when I was your guys' age. And on the professional side, I heard you say, Ryan, 33 years, but unfortunately, I've been in the industry for 36, and I feel every single one of them. But I have been so fortunate to be based out of Southern California this whole time. I've worked all over the country. Residential has always been a focus of what I do with Myers Research and Metro Study, but we do commercial work too. But really the focus has been residential, and it's where my heart lays. And I've had a chance to work with you guys in the past, and I've been in and around the Central Valley, all throughout California. And I think I have a perspective about how things are evolving. And one of the cool things is that we are seeing such demand for new housing. And I think we're going to talk about this in a minute. But new is really at the pinnacle of where demand is.
Absolutely. And we've just seen so many people that are reaching out to us, and just the fact that it's not been lived in is a really big and important factor to consider in purchasing a new home. I guess I'm diving into the details a little bit too early, but before we get too far into it, I just love your initial reactions just to the overall scope of everything that we talked about.
Well, I think you guys covered it pretty well. Brandon, I appreciate you talking about the mortgage side. That's so important. It's one thing to say, hey, I need a new home and what does it look like?
Yeah.
But how do we get it financed and how do we make it as easy as possible? And I hope everybody heard something that I'm going to back. And whether it's the Young or it's another organization, but when the home building and the mortgage side are connected like they are with the Young, it is typically a little bit easier to get that whole process going. Because this is a technical term. It's a pain in the ass to get an underwriting done for a new mortgage. And if you can ease that process a little bit, that's really good. Also, Ryan, something that you said that I couldn't agree with more, that the personalization really comes into the thing that's so important about new. Because whether it's outside or inside, whether it's color or whether it's a use of space, I would put that once again at the apex of the things that are most important for a buyer.
Yeah, I mean, you want the home to be your home. If you get that opportunity to build it and develop it and in a way that fits your lifestyle, that's so important. I mean, that's the whole dream about realizing a future promise of a new home. You get to build it your way. So,
well, I think it's interesting that you can do some of that with used homes, right? Like you can go in and do a remodel, but think about the work and the time and the effort that goes into it. I've heard
the surprises.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You watch every HGTV show. There's one big cliffhanger before the commercial of, oh no, we didn't know that was coming. And it's real. Like I've literally lived through a remodel myself and it's not fun. So let us build it the way you want from the start. I mean, this is such an easier way to go about it.
Well, Brandon, I live in a home that's 70 years old and I've lived in it for 26 years. I've renovated it twice. But the simple fact is that I took that home, adopted that home, and the renovations have been significant. And two other families lived in it before me. So there are some cultures that strongly prefer a new home. And no matter if it's a cultural element or just new that you can make your own, it's taken me 25 years to make my home my own. And I've been able to find a new home in the neighborhood I'm in. I could have done it day one.
And slightly changing the topic a little bit, but going back to what you're talking about on the financial side, talking about today we're recording this, it's September 9, 2020. Interest rates are they are so low. It's insane. I've never seen it in my history in the industry. A lot of times I think it's lost, when you look at a purchase price of a home, you think that that's the most important aspect. Really, it boils down to what's that monthly payment? So I wanted to get your feedback on what you're seeing out there in the discussions as it relates to interest rates.
Well, Ryan, you nailed something. And if you talk to most home builders, really the core of home building is that it's a monthly payment business. In fact, anything to do with housing is a monthly payment business because whether you rent a home or you rent an apartment or you're buying a home, you've got to be able to afford it, not just from the standpoint of your income, but on a monthly payment basis. So that's key. And, one of the reasons you guys had invited me on today was really to talk about why now versus any other time. And I think the side note I would say to all your listeners and potential buyers is this: tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. You mentioned that interest rates are low. They probably will stay that way for a while, but costs are going up and home prices are going up. And that's starting to offset some of the advantage of the lower interest rates. And that TikTok sign was just that I think that we're getting to a place where getting in now versus later, home prices are not going to be lower in 2 months or 3 months. And costs that you have to borne as home builders continue to go up. And for those of you listening, I'll give you one example. Lumber's gone up 130% in the last 6 months. And that is not a markup. That is simply what home builders have to pay for the sticks and bricks of a house. And that is passed directly to the consumer. And I can tell you that, not knowing the exact Young financials, but I can tell you most home builders do not operate on a really large profit margin. It's a relatively small number, oftentimes single digits. So when we have costs potentially going up, even with lower interest rates, that's why wasting time can also cost you money.
Yeah, it's definitely a factor when we're looking at, launching communities or phases. What is the true cost to build? And oftentimes we have to, hold back the next phase just to see what, for example, you talked about lumber. That's a big part of the discussion is that when we launch a phase, if we sell them, too early and we're actually building it way down the road, who knows where that lumber price will be. So it is definitely a critical aspect of, timing is everything.
And it's not just lumber. That's just one example. We're now in the well, not necessarily even post, but world of COVID, right? And when you're in such a volatile time, the commodities and the materials markets are just as volatile. And so we're, like Ryan's saying, we're having to monitor in real time what these costs are looking like. And when they're spiking, as you just said, 130%, right? Like they're going all over the place. Like we're having to really adjust rapidly. And so, as you said, TikTok, right? Like the sooner you get in, the sooner you will have that sense of comfort that you've been able to lock in at the right price.
Ryan,
go
I
ahead,
wanted to
Tim.
bring up something that you started with in the earlier presentation when you were going through some of the samples of the homes that you guys build, which I've walked your product before. You build a very, very good home. But I want to bring in a new concept about new, and it's really this increased utility that we're having to bring into the home. Classically, the home was our castle, and it was the place where, we had three places. We had work, and we had home, and we had a third place, which could be church or Starbucks or your favorite pub. But now they're all at home. And we now have to be able to have a place to work at home, a place to recreate at home, a place for our kids to go to school.
Yeah.
So we've never had that before. And in many, many ways, guys, I want to say that there's this demand that's being stolen from office space and retail space that's coming to the home. And I think that's one of the reasons why we've seen demand continue to move up. And once again, Ryan, go back to your point about the capability of modeling something around the spaces you need. I'll give you an example. We might start to see a 2,400 square foot home have 5 or 6 bedrooms. They'll be small, but why? One becomes a Zoom room, one becomes a school room, one becomes the TV room. And we start to use spaces and parcel out spaces in ways that we just didn't have to pre-COVID.
Yeah, we were, I think, smart enough, I would say, hopefully, that we set our communities up, our floor plans up in a way that you can customize it. Pick the right home site layout that's right for you and your family. Pick the right floor plan, and customize and personalize that layout to fit your exact needs. And I'm telling you right now, there are so many of our purchasers that are looking around, and I said it in the episode, but home has never been more important, and it's so critical right now because you look around your house and you realize you're on top of each other. You're at home doing school and work, and you're using your home differently than you did, in years past. And having floor plans that you can flex and change and adjust, and put mom or dad in there with you, or this is the kids' schooling room. It's unique, and I'm happy that we were able to offer floor plans that you can do that.
In fact, we call those spaces flex spaces. So I guess it's quite apropos.
Brandon, I think we're going to have to start calling our new single family homes mixed use environments, because they really are. We've got school, we've got retail, we have places to recreate, we have places to entertain, and we have to live somewhere too.
Absolutely. One thing we touched on earlier, but there's so many factors to consider when purchasing a home, and the fact that you get to design it that's right for you. And you have, our team, we referenced DeYoung Mortgage. One of the nice things is it can get kind of, complicated. There's a lot of decisions that need to be made along the way. And one of the things that we really pride ourselves on with DeYoung Mortgage is making it easy for customers. And we touched on it earlier, but I do think it's really worth diving into a bit more, in that that purchase process can be quite complicated. And I've seen a lot of the homes that we end up selling that do have, random situations that come up, or delays at that closing process happen to be outside lenders. And so, we really do try and pride ourselves on on that one-stop shop, making it really easy. We talked about it with the design studio. We talked about it with the mortgage company. I'm not sure if you're seeing any additional trends out there, Tim, as it relates to purchasing new and these kind of one-stop shop aspects.
Well, I want to maybe couch this as a challenge to you guys to embrace the concept of the frictionless transaction, because you have it set up. And I have not bought a home from you yet, so with
one day maybe
I have not gone through the process. But the frictionless concept is simply that a buyer comes in and you guys make it really easy to get to the end line. And it sounds like with the way you're set up with your mortgage company, with your design center, and with the product that I'm pretty familiar with, I think you're well set that way. As an example, there's a home builder out there, one of the builders that's generally a public builder, not officially, but is a public company, that is teamed with Zillow. And they're teaming with Zillow to make that back end, when people have a home to sell, a little bit easier. That's just one simple example of the frictionless process that can go from beginning to end. But I think you guys are set up pretty well to make that happen. Brandon, I'm just going to charge you to make the mortgage process really easy for those guys.
We'll make it happen.
One thing we haven't talked about, we didn't have it, in the cards for this episode, but we actually have an aspect of our purchasing process called our Smart Journey, and that is exactly the point of that seamless process. It's all geared towards communicating, explaining every aspect of that entire purchase process and making that journey just a enjoyable experience all the way through. It's not going to be perfect every single time. There are going to be things that come up along the way, but that's where communication comes into play. That's why having a team that is in lockstep with each other, the handoff process from one team to the next, whether it's the very beginning when you're purchasing and signing a contract, or you're searching, or you're going to the design studio, or you're in construction or moving into your home. That's the point of trying to help make that process enjoyable and absolutely life-changing in a positive way.
Well, and I think the visibility into the process itself, like as a customer, knowing what the process is, what are the key steps and the milestones, and what should we expect, I think is really crucial. And that's really what we try and get at with Smart Journey, is our customers are able to kind of see that process, ahead of time and know what to expect, but also just communication. We have so many different points of communication through the process, just to ensure that not only do they already know at the outset what the milestones will be, but when we get to these milestones, we're communicating and almost overly communicating so that they are always receiving updates from us and don't have to wait and wonder where are we at and have to reach out to us, trying to be proactively communicating.
Right on, Brandon. Well, and you're talking about process. I want to go back to one of the drivers for new and why it makes so much sense. And you guys have put a lot of effort into technology and making homes really energy efficient. And that's something that I don't have in my older home. It's 70 plus years old, and we've had to, redo our insulation. We've got solar. We had to add everything on. You guys are setting it up, and you showed a good graphic that the maintenance of the home, not just from the energy efficiency, but the fact that it's new, is a major advantage. And I give you this as a corollary. I do a lot of work in the single family rental and the build to rent side, which are those horizontal apartments. And the investors have flocked to that space because that single family rental world really started after the last recession, when all of these REITs were buying up the single family homes that was stressed. And it came to light that after buying all these tens of thousands of homes that are 30, 40, and 50 years old, it took a lot to maintain them. Now, those investors have started to move into the space where it's purpose-built, built to rent, and those horizontal apartments. And that's the corollary to what you guys are doing. You're providing a product. All new home builders are providing a product that is less expensive to keep up and more energy efficiency, and that helps us save some money.
So, it really does come back down to that monthly payment, whether it's extremely energy efficient, saving on your costs and still living comfortably, turning your AC on in the summer and not being afraid to do it, or it's locking in your PG&E or energy bill rates with the solar system. It's been something that we had a lot of foresight in, and I'll brag about my brother a little bit. It took us about 10 years, and in some of our communities, we've actually built zero energy communities. It took 10 years to get there. It was a long time to learn that process and get to that point. And that's like the holy grail of new homes. And although zero energy isn't perfect for every single community, so it depends on the neighborhood, whether it's offered there or not, it doesn't matter, because the bills are going to be extremely low. The energy usage is going to be extremely low in either case. And honestly, it's been so many years that's been there to develop that technological advancement. I would say that we were absolutely first to the market with that. And I think at this point, still in 2020, the only one that's actually built zero energy homes in our community. So,
yeah, the keys that we focused on to get to that is not a matter of can it be done. Anyone could build a zero energy home even a decade ago. It was a matter of can it be done affordably. And so that's really what we spent the time to do, is optimizing the mix of those features of energy efficiency, comfort, indoor health, environmental friendliness. We've optimized that, and we've picked and choose through the years what the best products are to get to that level of efficiency and low energy bills and comfort. And indoor health, and that's what we were able to achieve. It definitely wasn't overnight, because you got to have experience, right? And it takes a while to build a home, right? So once the home is built, then you've got to get some information about it and some data, and then optimize from there. And so that's what we did.
Guys, before we go, something else I want to share with any of your listeners and potential buyers is the renewed importance of indoor-outdoor space. And I think, Ryan, you were talking about it when you were talking about some of the plans. But the capability of being able to extend our living space into the outdoors, even during warm months like we're having right now, with shade cover, with anything that has to do with utility and usable area, it's going to become more and more important, particularly because, go back to the monthly payment element, there's a certain square footage that all of us can afford. There might be an additional square footage that we need for utility. And one of the best ways we can deal with that is using some of our outdoor space.
Absolutely. One of our homes, I think I did reference it in the episode. It's our Residence 210. It has a courtyard right in the middle of the home. And what's amazing about that is when I've been in that home with families that have had family gatherings, and it's an amazing experience, because you not only have the living room, the great room, the dining room, you have people that are there. But then you also have these exterior locations where, my cousins are over in the courtyard, and then dad's out back in the backyard barbecuing, and then there's also the patio. You have so many different places, but at the same time, you still feel like you're there together. With the
truly
windows
is.
and the doors.
Yeah, it truly is added usable square footage for sure.
Right on.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure to have had you join us on this episode. I cannot speak highly enough about Tim. We think the world of him. It's an honor to have actually get your thoughts and be able to talk to you about a subject that we obviously are very passionate, excited to talk about. So we just want to say thank you for taking some time to join us. And I hope that our listeners are able to understand and learn a few new concepts and ideas that maybe they didn't before.
Well, Ryan, thank you. Brandon, thank you. And let me say something personal to you guys. I've known you for a while now. I've met your family. And for anyone listening, the housing industry, when I started, was almost all families. And then it became more and more of an institutional experience. The DeYoungs are still a family. They behave that way. They interact, a sister, mom, dad, brothers. And with that, there's just a little extra commitment, because they're not 1 degree separated from the home buyer. They're not 1 degree separated from the dirt. They're in it. And I have a great deal of respect for the DeYoungs for that reason. And that's why I agreed to come on and just have a conversation. I think the world of you guys. I'm here for you anytime. And anybody out there thinking about buying a home, call these guys and they will fill you in. Thanks for having me, guys.
You got it so much. Thank you so much, Tim.
My pleasure.
Well, that's our episode for today. And we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you, guys.
Take care, guys.
Thanks.